Is robotics a must for fixed bearing unicompartmental knee replacement? The answer is yes. Thank you very much. We're going to fly through this because the answer is yes. These are my conflicts. I do some work with Stryker. I don't think we do enough unicompartmental knee replacements. A good uni is a great operation. Faster recovery, lower complication rate, an operation that's pretty close to a normal knee in the older patient population. Why don't we do more? Because the failure rate early on is unacceptable. And why is it unacceptable? We have problems with surgical technique. It's a hard operation to get right every time with manual instruments, at least with a fixed bearing knee. If you look at implant loosening, there's lots of reasons, and most of them are all fault. If I look at my uni with manual instruments, most of them are great, but some of them didn't do so great. And when I look at the reasons why they're listed up here, they were technical errors for the most part. Altered joint line, as we talked about earlier this morning, is a problem. You can put these implants in lots of different places, and I think enabling technologies, robots and other technologies will help us eliminate these problems. When you look at all of the registries with manual unicompartmental knee replacement, I don't care which country you're coming from, the results are inferior to total knee replacement. And so it's hard to justify this to our patients. When they come in asking for a uni, I historically said, you know, it's a great operation, you're going to faster recovery, lower complication rate, more normal feeling knee, but you're going to pay a price at a higher rate of early revision for either progressive osteoarthritis in the contralateral compartment or early loosening in my hands, primarily on the tibial side. And the group at Oxford has emphasized, well, you got to do 20% of your practice. But that's not really practical when you're starting out. So how do you start this out and eliminate the learning curve? And in fact, this is a paper that won a Knee Society Award from a doctor named Bill Shore in St. Louis, a very high volume US surgeon, switched over to unis, and at 5 years, despite his high volume, he had a 13% revision rate. So clearly unacceptable for most patients. So the question is, what problem are we trying to solve with enabling technologies, robotics, and that problem is obvious. It's the high revision rate with conventional manual unicompartmental knee replacements. There is no question, I don't think anyone would argue that a robotic uni is more accurate. It's more precise. You are going to make the cuts, and you're going to prepare the bone where you plan it. The key is planning it in the right position. And there's a lot of data on this in literature. I don't have time to go through it. This is a study from Faris Haddad, which is really well done. Every single parameter that they looked at, the robotic cases did better than the manual cases. So I don't believe anyone argues about the superiority of the robotics in unicompartmental knee replacement to be more precise. How about the outcomes? Well, now you have to take this with a grain of salt because all of the papers, or almost all the papers, are reporting on one technology that's been around for the longest, and that's the Mako technology. The question you have to ask, will this translate? Yeah, it probably will. Again, the robotic plans are pretty similar in terms of planning the operation and the ability to really look where the femoral component is aligned over the tibial component, right? If you don't get that right, if you have edge loaning in a unicompartmental knee replacement, you're going to have early tibial loosening. This is a 10-year paper out of the group from New York. Oh, actually, this is not out of New York, it's out of Europe, looking at their results. And again, really good results in high-volume surgeons' hands for the most part. If you look at the early revision rate from the Australia registry, and you look at this happens to be, again, Mako. I can't get away from that conflict that I have. But you can see the difference between the Zook, the Mako, and all other unis. And in everybody's hands, the robotic uni did better than the manual unis. The AJR data has just come out looking at the manual uni versus robotic. And you can see a pretty drastic difference, really half the revision rate in the first couple years after the operation. So there's a mounting amount of data that in a unicompartmental knee replacement at least, that it's superior to manual instruments. It sort of makes sense, right? It's so sensitive to implant position. Anything we could do to improve that's likely to improve the results. There's some other potential benefits that look at this. This is a randomized clinical trial. So we have single surgeon series, we have registry data, we have randomized clinical trials, all that support the fact that robotic uni is better than a total knee replacement. There's lots of articles on this looking at lower pain scores, lower utilization, narcotics. This is an RCT out of the group in St. Louis that looked at even out to several weeks to a couple of months after surgery, you got a benefit from a robotic compared to a normal or manual unicompartmental knee replacement, probably because of a better treatment of soft tissues. And we look at the systemic review, again, functional joint score is better, survivorship better, pain score is better. So again, a growing amount of literature that supports the use of enabling technology. So where am I with this? I did a lot of manual unis and I really liked it, except when they failed. And when they failed, when I look at the x-rays critically, they were my fault. I think the strength of the literature in support of robotic partial knee replacements is very strong. I think it's going to become the standard of care, quite honestly. And right now, I won't do a partial without robotic technology. Thank you for your attention.